Good morning, students. Am I audible? Am I audible? Hello. Please do response, okay? Am I audible?
Sir, audible.
Okay. And what about others? Please inform others to join as soon as possible. Okay. So let's start. Fine. So good morning, all of you. This is a class of Professional Elective 1, 6th semester, and it is Railway Engineering. So we have entered in the fourth module. Clear? So we have discussed about different joint, a different fastener in the previous class. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about very important and very interesting section of a railway track, and that particular section is known as point and crossing. Okay. So regarding point and crossing, we have already discussed little bit in super elevation when we have discussed about super elevation and especially about negative super elevation. So I have given a little introduction to point and crossing. Okay, and overall both the point and crossing together, that particular section is also known as turnout. Okay, so first of all, let me share my screen. Okay, wait. It's very difficult now. My screen is visible or not? Is it visible to you? Okay, चलो ठीक है. So I'll show you one image of uh, a real image of point and crossing first, then we'll discuss. Okay, let's see point and crossing in railway. So I think now maybe you may understand what I'm showing. Let's come signaling. Wait, I'll show you a bigger image. I think this one will be good. Okay, so from this diagram, what we can see, this section is basically known as point and crossing and popularly known as turnout. Okay, and this particular is basically also known as junction. Okay, so from the diagram itself, from the image itself, you will understand that it is a particular section in railway track where or which allow a particular train to change its direction. Okay, so I'll show you an a good view. Let me, yeah, this one is kind of a good picture. Let me make it larger. Okay, now in this particular train, you can see this section of a railway track is known as turnout. Okay, and this particular section of the which is known as turnout, it consists of two important section. One is point or switch, and another section is known as crossing. Okay, so technically it is basically the turnout is consist of two section. One is point or switch, another one is your another one is your crossing. Okay, so basically turnout or crossovers, you can see this particular railway track, this railway track is crossing over this railway track. Okay, and he's finally joined with this. Okay, so if you consider this track, this straight track, with respect to this track, suppose this track is considered like A. I'm considering this track number A. Suppose this is your track number A. This is your track number B. Okay. So with respect to this track number A, track number B is diverging. or converging vice versa. Okay, and from this point, from the point you are seeing um, this picture, suppose train is moving in this direction, considering the direction in this direction, okay, in this way. So, and with respect to this straight railway track, this track is acting as a diverging railway track. Okay, fine. And if you consider this track, this suppose this track number C, considering direction in this direction, okay, considering this direction of the rail, and with respect to this railway track number C, railway track number B is converging. Okay, because rail is moving in this direction. If supposed to, okay, fine. So this section is known as crossing. That's why this section as a whole. The where is my pen? Okay, yeah. So this section is known as crossing. Okay, and here is the point. It is not exactly visible. I will show you another picture. Let me see whether it is visible or not. And to find another diagram. Wait. So basically, regarding point and crossing, I will go very slowly, okay? Because it's little bit lengthy and complicated, but at the same time, it's easy also to understand. Okay, I'll show you a real picture of point and crossing. Let me, yeah, here I think here you can see in this diagram. I think it is visible. Yeah. Now it is not properly clear. Anyway, here it is whole. In this diagram you are seeing this point and crossing as together. Okay, so here you can see this is a straight curve. Okay, suppose this is the original railway track. Okay, this is the original railway track. Now there is a provision which is provided for the train to divert the direction from this original railway track to in this direction. Okay, clear? So basically this point, this section, this section is known as point, and this section is known as crossing. Okay, that means point, in a general definition, point is a section where the divergence of a particular train is allowed. Okay, that means in which direction a particular train will move, either in the straight direction or in a right turn, it will be decided, or it will be governed by this section, and which is known as point or switch. Okay, how it's work we're going to discuss. Okay, for now just understand the basics one. Okay, and try to understand the important component of a point and crossing. Okay, so point or switch, it is a part of a particular railway section, a part of a turnout, which allow a particular train to choose a direction. Okay, so basically this particular section will govern the train in a particular direction, whether in straight direction or right turn. Fine. And after uh, passing this section, that is the point or switch, when train will cross over this or this. Okay. So there is a special section here. You can see this section, which is known as crossing. Okay. I'll show you in this diagram. It is a bigger diagram here. Here. Okay. So in somewhere here it will be a point. Somewhere here it will be a point or switch, and a train, suppose a train is moving in this direction, so it will be crossover, this straight railway track. Okay, fine. And this section where a particular train actually cross, this section is known as crossing. Okay, Fine. So basically, all over as a whole, both are known as turnout. Okay. I'll give you a proper basic definition of turnout also. Wait. So basically, turnout is an assembly of track component which provide the means by which a train may be transferred from one track to another track. It is a basic simple, a basic, you can say definition of turnout. So turnout basically is what? It is a term given for a component or facility provided in a railway track by means of which a particular train may be transferred from one track to another track. Okay, this is a general definition of turnout. Okay, and turnout may be composed of two special component, that is your point and crossing. Basically, point and crossings are provided to transfer help to transfer railway vehicles or railway train or rails from one track to another. Okay, so the track may be parallel, may be diverging, or may be converging. Okay, sometimes a particular train maybe go parallel. Okay, and for this particular railway track or this section, this railway track is diverging. Okay, if you consider this direction, so particular railway point and crossing maybe deal with a parallel track, diverging track, or converging track. Okay, basically point and crossings are what? It's a kind of arrangement which are provided in a railway section or railway track to guide a train for a direction change. It is a basic definition. Okay, I think you have understood, right? So even here you can see a point and crossing are provided to, here some one mistake is there, to facilitate facilitate the change of railway vehicles from one track to another. The track may be parallel, may be diverging, or may be converging to each other. Fine. Point and crossing are necessary due to the inside flank of the wheel of railway vehicle and therefore require special arrangement to negotiate to navigate their way on the rail. Okay. Regarding this point, we are going to discuss. Maybe you are not understanding right now, but with a very few time, we're going to understand this. Okay. That is, point and crossings are necessary due to the um, inside flank of the wheel. So the inside flank of the wheel is very important term in discussing and point and crossing. We're going to discuss about that. Okay. The point and switch or point or switch, I already told you, it may be known as point or switch. Okay. The point or switch aim to or aid in diverting the vehicle. Okay. That means what is the purpose of point? It's decide the direction of the train or direction of the wagon. You can say the locomotive. And the crossing provide gaps in the rail so as to help the flank wheel to roll over them. Okay, basically point or switch direct the train to choose a direction, and the train cross over against one another track in a particular section which is known as crossing. So crossing provide a gap in the rail so that to help the flank wheel, basically the railway wheel only. Why it's highlighted flank, I'm going to discuss about that, so don't confuse here. Same thing, the railway vehicle only. Okay, so we are talking about railway wheels only, so the flank wheel to roll over that. Okay, a complete set of point and crossing along with the lead rail is called turnout. So regarding different component of point and crossing also we're going to discuss. So lead rail is also one of the component of point and crossing. Okay, so The following terms are often used in the design of point and crossing. So point turnout is an arrangement. Turnout is an arrangement of point and crossing with lead rail by means of which the rolling stock may be diverted from one track to another. The details are given here, or that is the parts of the turnout. So basically, turnout consists of different components, and that particular component are divided under main three head. One is your switch or points, one is your crossing, okay, and another one is your lead rail, okay. So how many four sets of lead rails are required for that? Okay, one nose consisting of point rail and splice rail are also provided, and two wing rail and two check rail. So what is wing rail, what is check rail, we're going to discuss, okay. What is lead rail, we're going to discuss about that. Sets of switches or sets of points, basically. Several slide chair. So what is slide chair, we're going to discuss, okay. Then stretcher bar. What is stretcher bar, what is the importance of stretcher bar, we're going to discuss, okay. And got tie plate, okay. All these are component of switch or point, okay. And moreover, a pair of stock rail, a pair of tongue rail, a pair of heel blocks are a also work as a very important component of turnout, or you can say point and crossing, okay. We're going to discuss, so don't worry about that different component. So first of all, let me show you one schematic diagram to and to make you understand some component of railway, okay. Let me see whether it is here or not. Yeah, I think it is there, so I'll just go. I think it is. Yeah. So you can see this is a simple diagram I'm showing you. Fine. So can you identify which section is known as point, which section is known as crossing? Can you understand now? Considering the direction in of the movement from left to right. Okay. Suppose train is moving in this direction. Okay. And there is a two option whether a train can move straight, can move in this right turnout, okay. And that can be decided by this section, which is known as turnout. And basically turnout is composed of two sections. One is your point, this is the section which is known as point, okay. This section is known as point, this section known as crossing, okay. And by definition, I already told you, point is a part of a railway track which allow the train to change its direction, okay. And basically what is crossing? Oh, this crossing is a section in a railway track at which a particular train actually cross its direction. Fine. So some components are already shown here, okay. Like this, you can see this is a stock rail. This one, this one is a stock rail, okay. This one also here, you can say stock rail. This one, this color, stock rail. The basic significance of stock rail is what? They are permanent, they are fixed, they will not change. They are permanent rail there, okay. So wait. So basically stock rails are what? Stock rails are running rails immediately alongside of the switch rail, against which the switch rail lay when in the closed position. The stock rails are otherwise ordinary rails that are machined, drilled, and bent as required to suit the design of the turnout switch and individual switch point rails. So basically, you don't go for that detailed definition. So for now, you just try understand this is the fixed rail. Okay, for now you just understand this rail, the stock rails, even this color, blue color. Okay, so this is a stock rail, this is stock rail. These are the fixed rail basically. Okay, fine. And this is, you can say, this is the closer rail. Fine. This is the closer rail, which okay. And closer rail basically what? They are the straight or curved rail that are positioned between the heel of the switch and toe of the frog. Now basically heel of the switch means what? For that we have to know the switch and frog. This part is known as basically the switch. Okay, there will be a switch motor here. Okay, I think I can also show one picture for that here in this diagram. This is the point. Okay, and this is the switch box or switch motor, you can say. Can you see this part? This is the switch. Okay, so or you can say switch motor. Previously it was operated manually. Now it can be operated from the headquarter or in the office itself. Okay, so using this switch or point, a particular train can move its direction. How it can move, we're going to discuss in coming classes. Okay, so anyway, this is the switch. Okay, as a whole, this is switch motor. Okay, a particular railway switch consists of some part like switch motor or switch box. Okay, or there is a switch bar, point bar is there. I think it is not visible clearly here, but there is a bar. Okay, and this is your what rail is called. Let me show you again. Wait, where I put the direct, where wait, yeah. So basically this switch part consists of three main components: switch motor, switch rod, and this point. Okay, or switch rail basically. Isn't the driver in control of the direction? Not basically, okay, because driver is to regulate or to check this speed or thing, okay, for the direction. So see, from inside a railway engine or locomotive, you cannot choose the track. Okay, you can divert, but the track is not meant for that. Track is a rigid thing. Okay, you don't mess up with highway engineering with railway engineering. Okay, because highway wheels are not rigid; they are flexible. They can move by itself with the help of driver. Okay, clear? But it is not the case in railway engineering. You will be understand. You will be understand. Okay, just have some patience. I don't want to give you that whole knowledge at the same time. It will be make you a little bit of confusion. Okay, so that's why make have patience. So slowly, we're going to understand how a train actually change track. Okay, how can a train change its track? Fine. Can you change a switch from engine? It is I don't think it is possible. Okay, maybe in future. Okay, basically it is done by the that's control room. Okay, I think even in the crossing, railway crossing, or in a station or somewhere, even in the our that part in nearby our campus, there is a railway crossing, right? And there nearby the railway crossing, there is a small office. I think you have noticed, right? There is a small office for where a particular railway rep- representative sit there. Okay, you basically check the railway crossing, all like that. Okay, from there also maybe there is a provision to change the railway track. Okay, if you go in a railway track nearby you, you just go and check. If you are lucky, then if you are, is there any point in crossing nearby you, just go and check. At least check the point, which section is known as point, which is known as crossing. Okay, and nearby the point you will see some wear kind of connection. There is a, in a transverse direction there is a, in this I'm talking about this switch rod. Okay, fine. And this turning is basically possible because of the special you know, dimension of the railway wheel. Because of the wheel only it is possible now. Okay. Now I will show you one diagram for railway wheel first. So it is already shown to you. Anyway, I'll show you again. Okay. Yeah. Which direction? I think this diagram is okay. Let me check. I think that this diagram are already mentioned to you. Anyway, I'll show you again because it is very important for uh, to understand this point and crossing. Let me show you again. Okay, this part is already given to you. Anyway, I'll show you. In this diagram, it is not clear. Anyway, so this part is basically this is the web of the wheel. Okay, this part is called basically the rim. Okay, it is a basically 3D diagram. Okay, can you see? This is the it is the depth. Okay, and this is the flank. Okay, okay. Anyway, so this diagram is not that clear. I'll show you another one, the real one. I'll show you. Let me see. Let me see. I want to show you a real diagram. Maybe let me see here. So discussing about point and crossing, it take little time. Okay. So maybe in coming class we're going to understand clearly about the points and turnout. So don't miss the class. So it's not coming. Why? Wait. Okay. Let me see. And don't worry. After some discussion, we're going to go for studying the animation of the railway movement along the railway turnout. So it will be clear. Okay. So here you can see na, this is a wheel of railway. Fine. This is called what? Dream, right? This is a tread part. Fine. And that part, inner part, is called that what it called? Flank, right? So can you see this extended part of the flank which is larger than the outer flank? Can you see? I already told you na in the first module that it is the railway wheels are of tapered geometry. Okay, this is tapered. That means the inner diameter is larger than outer diameter. Got it? It is like a taper. I think this is clear to you, right? So you can see the rail, or you can say wheel, is moving along the railway line, and this rim part is in contact with the rail. Fine. Okay. But this part, this flank part, I'm talking about this part. I'm talking about this part. Okay. This part, which is larger in diameter, which is inside. You can see this diagram. Can you see in this that uh, back, the behind wheel? This wheel. I'm talking about this wheel. Can you see this wheel? Just look closely. The inner flank is larger. Okay, here similar, here also inner wheel is larger, and it is not in directly contact with the rail. There's always a gap between the railway surface and this tread, and this flank. Okay, because to reduce the friction, if suppose this flank is directly contact with the rail surface, what will happen? It will create friction. Great. Okay, so there is always a gap between uh, railway rails and this larger inner track. Okay, so is there any possible to show you any other diagram? Let me check. Yeah, here it is very clear now. Now see, Now see, okay, I'll show you. Wait. I think now in this particular diagram it will be clear. It's very good one. Now see, can you see this diagram? Is it visible? So now see, this is the inner part of the rail. Okay, this is the flank, right? This is the inner flank which is having larger diameter, and here is a smaller diameter. So basically it is of tapered geometry. So if I say the diameter, it is in this tapered. Okay, even from the top it is like tapered. Okay, clear? And this is the flank, and you can see there always a gap between the rail surface and this flank. Okay, to reduce the friction. Okay, I think it is clear to you. There is a standard dimension. You can also find out in IS code or Indian Road Congress. You will find out what is the base, what is the required gap between the flank of inner rail and the rail surface. You can find out. Okay, try to find out. Anyway, so these things are very important term in point and crossing. Since there is a gap in between the flank and the rail, we are going to take advantage of this section in railway turnout. So using this geometry, we can divert a particular train from one direction to another. Okay, it's very exciting now. Okay, so anyway, I'll show you. I'm showing you something now. I'm showing you basic geometry. Okay, wait, where I wait. Yeah. So yeah. So this is your point. This is the crossing. This outer rail, which is known as stock rail, is a permanent fixed rail. Fine. And the inner, this part, basically this closer one, this is a closer rail. Okay. So this may be a straight. Somewhere there is maybe a straight, maybe curve. That position between the heel of switch and toe of frog. Basically, this is called frog. Okay, and here something are not given here. I'll show you. So basically this is the frog basically, and this is nose. This point is known as nose. As a whole, this is frog. This point is called nose of crossing, and they are wing rail. This color, this one and this one, they are look like a wing. Okay, so they are known as wing rail. From here to here they are wing rail. Okay, this is the wing rail, this is the wing rail. Fine. This is the nose. Okay, and as well, this is called frog. Okay, and these are known as guardrail. These are these are guardrail. To what is the purpose of guardrail? Basically, to maintain the direction. Where because this is a section which is known as crossing, and suppose train is moving in this direction, and to guard the rail in this direction, especially in this crossing section, a special for protection, another rail is provided here. Okay, but rail wheels are moving along this along this rail only. These guardrail are only provided to protect the direction or to maintain the direction only. Okay, so basically guardrail is a piece of rail placed alongside the main rail or stock rail. Okay, so this is also known as main rail also. Okay, so guardrails is a piece of rail placed alongside the main rail opposite the frog. That means this is a frog in the opposite direction. Both direction there is a guardrail. Okay, so this exists to ensure that the wheels follow the appropriate flank way along the frog, and that the main train does not derail. That means to avoid derailment, so that the train will not come in this direction, so that the train can only go through this direction or this direction, we have to provide a guardrail to maintain the direction, to regulate the direction. Okay, so these are the main rail or stock rail, this is the guardrail, this is the frog. Okay, so basically frog is what? Frog is a component placed where one rail cross another. So here you can see frog is this point. So either the train is moving in this direction or in other direction. Either the train is moving in this direction or in this direction. Its uh, its rail will go over this frog. Okay, suppose a rail is moving in this direction. Suppose a rail is moving in this direction. So train will cross over this. Fine. And suppose a rail is moving in a straight direction, then also a wheel go along this. Okay, so either any direction that particular train will take, but frog will always in taking pressure. Okay, so basically the nose point, the nose is a part of the frog. Okay, so this nose and the frog, this will be of high strength. Okay, so this is a very important term in point and crossing. The frog part is always in contact with wheel in any direction, because whenever train is moving in the right straight direction, then also the wheel go over the frog. Okay, if it take this turn, then also it will go over this frog. Okay, so frog is a component placed where one rail crosses another, refer to the crossing point of two rail. Okay, now we have already discussed about closure rail, right? So closure rail is what? It is a straight or curved rail that are positioned in between heel of switch and toe of frog. So basically this is the toe. Okay, this is the frog, and this part is known as toe of the frog. Fine. And this is the heel of the what? It is the closure rail are the straight or curved rail that are positioned in between the heel of switch and toe of the frog. So this is the switch, and this part is known as heel of the switch. Okay, here some heel block is also fixed here. You can see some metal structure is also fixed in between the closure rail and the stock rail. You can see it's a heel block. They are the assemblies or units placed at the heel of the switch that provide us splice with the contiguous closure rail and the location for a switch point rail to pivot at a fixed separate distance from the stock rail. That means to maintain this distance, okay, to maintain the exact position of the switch rail, or you can say the stock rail and the closure rail, a hill block is provided here. Okay, to maintain this distance, basically it should not close to each other. That's why it's a very simple objective of hill block. Okay, yeah, so this is all about your basic of basic component of a point and crossing. Other components are also there, different components are there. Okay, so don't worry, we're also going to discuss about that. So I'll show you um, uh, one little complicated diagram of that one point and crossing. I'll show you. Wait, where I have to show. I forgot where I put. Anyway, we have to be wait till next class so that we can complete this. Okay, so for now we need I'm going to close my sharing here. So here we have started the point and crossing, knowing about point and crossing. So in coming classes we're going to discuss about how a particular train can change a track. Okay, can change a track. Fine. So with this I just want to close my sharing here. It may be not totally clear, but coming classes we're going to clear it. Okay, for now we have discussed about different component of turnout, basically. Okay, so different component, and there are other component are also there, and the purpose of different component we're also going to discuss about that. Okay, so we'll go slowly. Clear? So till then, any doubt? Because in 5 minutes this meeting will be closed. So if you have any doubt, just ask me. Whatever we have discussed about that, do you have any doubt? If you don't have any doubt, then I'll just close my recording and I'll just take your attendance. Is it clear to you? Chalo, ठीक है. So I'll just close my recording here, then I'll take your attendance, okay? And somehow, if your recording will stop, sorry, the meeting will stop, then please rejoin for attendance, okay?